So throughout our sessions, whether it's on land as in shore-based or on the water, whenever we're teaching something, we need to check our students understand. It's either that or we've given them an instruction of something that they need to do on the water that we need to ensure that they understand, because it's often related to safety. So we need to be really good at asking open questions. So there's something to have a little think about. So you may have seen this before, you may not. So bums on a rugby post. Rugby post is H for how, and then the bottoms are what, where, why, when and who. If I write those out, so it's how, so if we put this into some context, if you've just delivered the briefing of your session, so if you flick back to the model of edicts, you've done an explanation and demonstration, they're then about to go off and imitate you. Before you send them off, you definitely need to check that they understand, otherwise they could go and do anything really, and it's either from a safety side of things or perhaps they didn't fully understand what it is that's required of them, in which case the success rate would be a lot lower. So as an example of a man overboard session, for example, so checking understanding before they imitate would be, how are you going to do this? So you could get them to give a brief synopsis of how they're going to pick it up. Where are you going to do this? Because you'll give them an area to complete the task. Why are we doing this in the first place? I.e., why do people fall off skis? When might that occur? When do we pick up the man overboard? Who is it that's actually doing the man overboard recovery? What position do we pick them up? We pick them up over the stern. And why do we pick them up over the stern? How might we recover a unconscious casualty from the water? When might we call the emergency services? So by asking all of those questions, or similar questions, starting with those words, we'll always get an open-ended answer, rather than me saying, did you understand? So as very British people, if somebody says, do you understand? I say, yes. Because I don't want to be embarrassed and I don't want to show up that either I wasn't listening or I didn't really get it, so that's pretty humiliating. So if you ask a question that starts with words like did or do, you're likely to get a yes or no answer. However, if you ask questions that start with one of these words, they can't really get out of it, they can't really answer yes or no, in which case we'll get a clear, for us as well, we'll get a clear understanding that our students understand, which means bonus all round.